Hey fans of Bob's Barn Workshop, here we are. We are up at the lake. So I got the drawer fronts cut at home. I brought them up to the cabinet hole that I had made last fall and put in here. Now what I did to make sure my drawer boxes were aligned correctly is I put Scotch tape down the edge. And I actually used the exact drawer faces that I cut, and I marked where they were going to overlap. And the good news is you know, I built this cabinet months ago. I measured between the rollers after I put them in for the drawers, and look at that. I got a couple drawer boxes installed, and they slide in and out just perfectly with no shimming. So my guesstimation on the dimensions of the drawers were perfect, I have to say. So what I'm doing is I'm down to installing the third drawer from the bottom, or from the top, and I've shimmed it up so that I can see the bottom of the drawer versus the bottom of the drawer front that I marked here. And so I need to put the center of my slide. Remember to measure to the center of your slide. I just use the screws, the holes as a reference. Now this one, the slide's got to be up 2 1/8 to a center of the run. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these sliders out, which you just, on most drawers, there's just a little lever you have to push, and your rail will come right out. And I got to do that on the other one, but I can't reach it because the box is in there. I just stuck these pieces of wood under there to jack the box up to the height I wanted. And we'll pull these slides out. I guess they come up. Yep, okay, that one comes up. Alright, so I got the two slides. I got the box out. I'm going to measure up. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm out on the table on the porch. I got my runners, my rails, and I got my box. Now I think I want this one to be the back because the corner's kind of chipped a little bit. And there was a saw cut. Yep, that'll be the back. Doesn't matter. I didn't finish these drawers, I just sanded them. Let me see if you got a good view. Okay, perfect. So I want 2 1/8 up from the bottom. Perfect use for your speed square. Set it on the bottom so it slides. Put your pencil right at 2 1/8. Hold it firmly with your finger against it, and just slide it along. Flip it over. Put it at 2 1/8, and watch your line to make sure you're staying on it. All right. Good all along. Now we need to take the slide, and I'm recessing them about 1/8 of an inch from the front because my slides are recessed a little bit. And then I'm just putting a crosshatch on the hole. I'm only putting one in the center. And then I'm taking a nail and I'm putting it right on my cross, and I'm making a starting hole. For my screws. I take my rail, lay it on, make sure the holes line up. Now I'm using number 8 panhead, shallow panhead sheet metal screws, 1/2 inch long. There were smaller ones that came with the kit. I just decided to go with the thicker screws. You got to make sure the screw heads are small enough they don't interfere with your slide, however. And I got my hammer drill set on a very, very, very light hammer so that it doesn't overdrive the screws. I'm going to do one in the front, one in the back. And I'm putting the screws in the vertical adjustable slots first. So if I have to knock these a little bit, but that tightened up just nice. Oop, put my screws right in here. I like to just make sure the screw does about a quarter of a turn after it seats down, just to tighten it up good. But so not overdrive it. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'll see you back inside the Alright, we're putting the last screw in the second side here. Did it the same way. I actually brought out this plywood so I could let the bottom rail hang over it a little bit. So it was easier to keep this flush. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to doing the inside work. Actually, we're just going to install the drawer to make sure it fits. So we'll just walk right in here. Alright, so now all I need to do is line my slides up with my grooves. Make sure you put it in there the right direction. These have been fitting perfectly though. I have to pat myself on the back. I made the dimensions exactly right. And there we go. Like a charm. Just like I planned it that way. Alright, we're going to do the same thing with the bottom draw. We're just going to raise that up about a quarter of an inch so it doesn't drag. Then I've got to go finish my drawer fronts, and in a couple days we can put them on, put the knobs on, and we will have this kitchen finally completely done. One thing I am going to do, stay tuned, I am going to install an undersink reverse osmosis water purification system with UV sanitizer, so that we're going to try to use the lake water for cooking and coffee water, because we've been hauling those big 5-gallon jugs and hoisting them up here, and it's a real pain. And it's a pain to fill them at home. We refill them and bring them up here, but if we can just turn on the tap here at the lake and get drinkable water, we're all good. Alright, final drawer box going in. I just raised it up about a quarter of an inch from the bottom. Oops, helps if you put it in backwards the right way. You'll hear them go ch-ch. They always go in hard, but then they come out easy. Isn't that weird? Alright. So we're continuing on with the lake drawer project. Well, as you can see, I got the first drawer face on. We decided we wanted to put the knobs in the center of every drawer rather than the equal amounts from the top. So all I did is drill my pilot hole through the center of this. I found my center where that should be by measuring up this distance and centered it on the drawer box, made a mark, drilled that through, and luckily I found long enough screws to go through both layers of the drawer and the plywood without a recessed hole. So we're good on that. So all I'm going to do on the next drawer, and then I just put a level on it, clamped it, put a screw inside from each corner. And this is just about the last of the cabinet work here. What else do I want to do here? So I'm going to find the center of my next drawer, which is this fancy one. And we're going to drill that. I'm just going to put some blue tape on here and find the center. I'm measuring up on this to find my center. So I'm just going to take this level on my mark to the square that I made, and I'm just going to rotate until I get level. Thank you, dear. That's a perfect idea. And I know it's 6 inches to the center of this hole. I just measured. Turn it around and check both ways. It's off by a smidge. Oh no, that's this. Alright, that's pretty much it. Ugh. I'm crouching, I'm crouching! Actually, what we can do too to do this, let's get me one of these. Get the door front for me here. How far are we going in? Yeah, just like that. How about that? That works for me. There we go. Okay, stool. All right. Science. Woo! Then I just put my screw through. Put my draw front on. Pick out your next favorite Knabe. And I'm going to make it even like this. How's that gap look? I'm going to just eyeball the gap from back here. Pretty damn good from what I can see. It's dark in here now. Bingo. All right. We're just going to continue that on up. I'll show you how I put the inside. Carefully open your drawer. Put your pumpy clamp on there. Make sure it's not contaminated and scratch your finish. She's hot. I've got one of these fancy chamfering pilot bits. I put one right in the upper corner. Alright, pilot hole's drilled. And then make sure you don't drive it through the front. I'm using 1-inch screws, and this is 1.25 inches thick, so it gives me a little room to recess the heads. Flathead screws are measured from the top of the head, so don't want to strip them, so we're just taking it easy. The next one is magic. Well, not really, because we didn't do the top one. All right, we have 2 done, and they just look so fancy. And we didn't have to cut any screw holes. All right, so we're just going to do the same thing next. We're a little low on that one, so that's all right. We're just going to keep following this protocol till we get to the top. So I'm going to find the center of the other one. Jiggy, come on, nice and far, you can get right in there. What do you think about that, huh? Three down. Oh yeah. Last one. We got her in position. That doesn't look like the right screw. Don't want to put that one in there. No, Fat Albert don't like to run. As I said, these are just 1-inch flathead Phillips drive wood screws. We got the clutch set low so it doesn't rip the threads out of the wood because it is soft pine. This is the hard one. It's from an awkward angle down the bottom there. And we are done with drawer fronts. Yippee-ki-yo-ki-yay is what's his name once said. Well, guys and gals, it's a mess right now. But all Knotty Pine Kitchen, Bob's Barn Workshop project, is all done. You saw me get the shelves done. The movable shelves, the bifold doors. Now I do have to put a pulley wheel on this. That's the only thing left to keep that corner sucked in. So when I pull that back like that, and you got the sliding one because you just got to follow directions. We have a reverse osmosis water system, which is a 7-stage. There's 3 canister type filters on the bottom. It goes through a high pressure pump. It goes through some other kind of filter. It goes for reverse osmosis. It goes through a UV purifier, and then it goes through a filter that actually puts some minerals back in the water so it isn't tasteless. Really, really easy to install. The hardest part was drilling the hole through the quartz countertop, and I had to use a 1/2-inch hollow diamond bit to do that, but it cut right through there just fine. The problem I ran into is the hollow bit wasn't deep enough to go all the way through, and I got about 99% of the way through and I couldn't go any deeper, and then I realized I had to break the center out so the bit itself would go deeper, and I was through in about 10 seconds. So now we have water made crystal clear and safe to drink from lake water. Alright guys, that's it for now. The inspector's here. Alright. This project is officially done.